Okay, welcome back. This is my quick review of South Africa versus Australia, and it's match number 10 at the ICC. Australia just got obliterated. They were the one of the favorites for sure, top 4, and this is the second match that they lost, and they lost by 134 runs. Quinton de Kock got like 109. In response to that, the only highest score, which was kind of a saving face innings by Manas, and it was just 46 runs. And that's it. That was the highest score of the entire Australian team. What just happened? But anyway, let's look at the top 10 moments and just break it down. So, number 10, I was worried that it could be number 10. I thought it would be the pitch, but it wasn't because the low order batsmen from Australia actually scored well. They did a lot of run scoring than the top order and the middle order, barring Manus Labuschagne. So, Pat Cummins, Stark, they always somehow add useful runs in every match, be it a test match, be it ODI. They always add useful runs. And in this case, even Zampa belted a few. So that's number 10. Number 9, Stark's going strong with his record of one wicket in each World Cup match. I couldn't find how far back it goes, but it seems like a strong record, on its own. And he's also the fastest 50 wicket getter in the World Cups. Anyway, number 8, Rabada's dismissal left us in awe. I bet even Josh Inglis was at awe because it did seem like he was completely just taken aback by that dismissal. Aiden Markram gets another stellar 50. At one point he hit like three consecutive fours of Zampa. The third one was just a brilliant cricketing shot. He lofts an incoming googly to the covers. I actually remember seeing Rizwan and Mendes play something similar in the last match, but this was an absolute treat to watch. And again, where is this version of Markram when he's playing for the Sunrisers? Thanks a lot, management. Anyway, number 6, again, Australia doing a lot of boo boo in the match. Seven catch drops. Seven. Let me list them out for you really quickly. Josh Inglis, uh, let me list them out very quickly. Josh Inglis, early on, thick outside edge of Zampa's leggy, and Inglis dropped it so much for replacing the keeper. I mean, I really liked Alex Carey. They replaced him fine. Hopefully, Josh Inglis does hit a few. In fact, I watched him in the warm up match. He is a really good hitter, but not at the cost of dropping catches as a wicketkeeper. Second, Sean Abbott threw it back into the boundary only to be like a bad throw, and he couldn't catch his own throw. These things happen. It's just a split second of a moment. So I wouldn't call it like a drop, but technically it is. But I do feel for this, this catch. It was a really well fielded one, but unlucky. Pat Cummins, he puts down Markram. That could have been a very simple, a very good cotton ball, but again, benefit of the doubt. Mitchell Stark, he runs to catch Miller's stoppage, drops as his elbow hits the ground, and this was another like phase of bad luck for Australia, I feel. And by this time, I was thinking, the fate or DRS, nothing is working for Australia, and they're going to lose this match. And that's what happened. And finally, Marcus Stoinis dropped a sitter. Like this was a no excuse catch, a no excuse catch. This drop just added like 50 to 60 runs uh, after the drop actually. So, anyway, number 5, the other dismissal that was a bit tricky was of Marcus Stoinis. He visibly nicks it. I mean, everybody heard something. Then he starts walking off, and the minute he does that, like he sees a replay on the screen, and then they go to the third umpire, and from one angle, he sees that his bottom hand isn't touching the bat, right? And if it's not touching the bat, it's technically not out. But then there's another angle where you see that the the top hand is touching the bottom hand. So it kind of forms this electricity connection of some sort. And for that sake, it was given out. It was a very, very strange dismissal, but I guess you gotta have to trust the Third Empire in these cases. Can't do much. Another dismissal that made the countdown. This is Smith's dismissal. It looked completely sus. Even the umpire on the ground seemed absolutely surprised. And it looked like it was going way past the leg stump. I was at least expecting an umpire's call, but it was actually hitting the stumps. Well, what can you say? Whenever it's like South Africa and Australia, something has to go crazy. At least this time, this time the broadcaster isn't super sport. If you remember, the whole country versus 11. And also this umpire, Richard Illingworth. I remember the last match. I think it was Kusal Mendes' wicket when Janssen was bowling, and because of the height, it was missing the stumps. It was the second ball that Mendes was facing, and Illingworth gave it out, went for the review, and it was overturned. Now, however, that was missing the wickets, and he had the same expression like disbelief, saying that, how could I be wrong? But either way, gotta trust the umpire, especially the third umpire, because he has all the cameras. Number three, this is the fifth highest total in the World Cup against Australia by any team. And I'm not surprised it came from South Africa. Because remember that match, the highest scoring chase? Yeah, so they did it again. Number two, Quinton de Kock. What a crazy opening batsman this guy is. It's like two continuous centuries. He looks like he's in the form of his life. And he announced that he's going to retire at the end of this World Cup. I cannot believe this. Like, I watched him talk after the match, and it seemed like he's not much of a talker. It just seemed like his innings was just very selfless or effortless knock, I felt. And he's gonna quit, man. Like, if he's like someone who's on top of this game and he quits, what's gonna happen to the rest of us? And he's gonna quit and just leave us begging for more, I guess. um there's so many players who just stay on, like settle in their place and just freeze there. But this guy comes to this World Cup. I don't know how many hundreds he's going to hit. I'm sure there are at least one or two coming again. And he's going to retire, on top of his game. So, yes, lovely. Number one, just the entire South African team for me. Like, they just play so well as a unit. I have been watching South Africa since I was a kid. I may have even watched, uh, or my first memory of watching cricket could have been a South Africa match. And, that too in these colored kits for the first time. Kepler Wessels, Andrew Hudson are opening the match, and Alan Donald, the White Lightning. I remember having this fantastic poster of them out of a Sports Star magazine. They're all just chilling in the dressing room. Like, I think it was just, during that World Cup, 92 World Cup. And I had gotten that hands on that magazine a lot later. But I do remember that picture. I tried to find it on the internet. I couldn't find it anywhere, but it is what it is. But they look fantastic. Their bowling attack looks great. Their batting looks wonderful. Like Aiden Markram is firing, Rassie van der Dusen is firing, Quinton de Kock is firing. Like, and it's all guns blazing, I guess, for South Africa. And I think it's South Africa is one of the most loved teams from 92 to 2015, and they were almost always considered that a team that would just go on to win the World Cup, but they somehow gained this whole choker tag. And every match that you see, like something eventful happened, to them, starting from 92's one ball 22 runs fiasco, because thanks a lot to the shitty broadcasters and rain, we didn't have DLS then. Um then again, the Alan Donald and Lance Klusner being run out, and the scores being tied, and Australia progresses because of whatever, I think, run rate, or they were on top of the table, something like that. But Man, Lance Klusner was something else. I think I should just do a little more research and do another episode on him someday. But something always happens to them, and I really hope this time they don't choke. I really hope this time they just go through. South Africa and New Zealand is final is what I'm rooting for. But this time, I think they were just happily under the radar, and nobody was expecting this from them. And then they just suddenly surprise everybody. Today, they just played an absolute perfect game. I mean, I was missing Nokia, as in he's one of their best bowlers, but the team just looks in place. I guess they filled his cap really well, at least for the tournament. And I was just preparing for some heartbreak, some surprise, windfall that will hit them and the team will lose. But so far, they're just really good, and I don't think this whole cricketing universe can take any more heartbreaks for South Africa. We've run out of that credit, I'm sure. But that's it. Those are my top 10 moments for the 10th match between South Africa and Australia. See you in the next video.